Hey, welcome to The Night Scientist. I'm so happy you're here with me tonight. There's something truly magical about this moment we're sharing together, isn't there? As the world outside begins to quiet down and the day's energy slowly fades, we're about to embark on something really special. I've always believed that some of the most fascinating discoveries happen when we take the time to really slow down and listen to what our bodies and minds are trying to tell us. Tonight we're going to explore one of the most incredible journeys your brain takes every single day, or rather, every single night. So get comfortable, maybe grab a warm blanket, and let's dive into something that's been happening inside your head since the moment you were born, yet remains one of the most mysterious and beautiful processes in all of science. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of the night scientist, exploring your brain's midnight pleasure party. Now, I know what you might be thinking when you hear that phrase. Your brain's midnight pleasure party? What could that possibly mean? Well, my friend, what if I told you that every single night, as you drift off into sleep, your brain doesn't just shut down like an old computer being turned off for the night. Instead, it transforms into something almost magical. Something that would make the most elaborate celebration look simple by comparison. Your sleeping brain is like a master conductor leading the most sophisticated orchestra in the universe, with billions of neurons playing their parts in perfect harmony, creating a symphony of restoration, memory consolidation, and dreams that scientists are only just beginning to understand. Picture this with me for a moment. You're lying in your bed, feeling the weight of the day slowly lifting from your shoulders. Your eyelids are getting heavy, and there's that wonderful drowsy feeling beginning to wash over you like a warm tide. But what you might not realize is that in these precious moments, your brain is already beginning one of the most incredible transformations in all of nature. It's like watching a bustling city gradually transition from the bright energy of daytime to the gentle, mysterious atmosphere of evening. As you begin to relax, your brain starts to shift gears in ways that would absolutely amaze you if you could see them happening. The neurons that have been firing rapidly all day, processing information, making decisions, and keeping you alert and focused, begin to slow their pace. It's not unlike a marathon runner who's been maintaining a steady, powerful pace for hours and is now allowing their body to gradually cool down and recover. But here's where it gets really interesting. And this is something that sleep researchers have only recently begun to understand in all its beautiful complexity. Your brain doesn't just randomly slow down. Oh no, it's far more sophisticated than that. What happens is incredibly organized, almost like a carefully choreographed dance. Different regions of your brain begin to communicate with each other in entirely new ways. The prefrontal cortex, which has been your CEO all day, making executive decisions and keeping you focused on tasks, starts to quiet down. Meanwhile, other areas of your brain, areas that have been patiently waiting in the background, begin to come alive in ways they never do during your waking hours. Think of it like this. Imagine your brain is a vast library during the day with researchers and scholars bustling about, accessing information, cross-referencing data, and making new connections. But as evening approaches, a different kind of work begins. The night shift arrives, and these workers have an entirely different job. They're not there to help people find information quickly. Instead, they're there to organize, to file away the day's experiences, to repair and maintain the library itself, and to make connections between pieces of information that might never have been connected during the busy daytime hours. This transition doesn't happen all at once. It's gradual, gentle, like watching the sun set over a calm lake. Scientists have identified several distinct stages in this process, and each one is more fascinating than the last. The first stage, which researchers call Stage 1 non-REM sleep, is like standing at the threshold between two worlds. You're no longer fully awake, but you're not quite asleep either. Your brain waves, which have been buzzing with high-frequency beta waves all day, begin to slow down into what scientists call alpha waves, and then even slower into theta waves. During this gentle transition, something remarkable happens to your perception of time and space. You might experience what researchers call hypnagogic hallucinations. those strange dreamlike images or sensations that seem to come from nowhere. Maybe you've experienced the feeling of falling just as you're drifting off, or perhaps you've heard your name being called when no one is there. These aren't signs that something is wrong with your brain. Quite the opposite, actually. They're signs that your brain is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, beginning its nightly transformation into something completely different from its daytime self. What's happening at the cellular level during this time is absolutely fascinating. Your neurons are beginning to change the way they communicate with each other. During the day, your brain cells send signals in very specific, targeted ways. But as you enter sleep, these communication patterns begin to shift. It's like switching from having individual conversations in a crowded room to having a group conversation where everyone can hear everyone else. This change in communication style is what allows your brain to begin the incredible work it does during sleep. As we move deeper into this gentle descent, your brain begins to reveal its true nighttime personality. Stage 2. Non-REM sleep is where things start to get really interesting, and honestly, it's one of my favourite parts of the entire sleep process to talk about. This is where your brain begins to show off some of its most impressive tricks, things that scientists are still trying to fully understand even after decades of research. During stage 2 sleep, your brain starts producing what researchers call sleep spindles and K-complexes. Now, I know those might sound like technical terms, but bear with me because they're actually incredibly beautiful phenomena. Sleep spindles are these brief bursts of brain activity that last for about half a second to 2 seconds. They get their name because when scientists look at them on an EEG machine, they look like spindles spinning up and then spinning down again. These little bursts of activity are like your brain's way of saying, I'm still here, I'm still working, but I'm working on something completely different now. K-complexes are even more fascinating. They're these sudden large waves of brain activity that look like mountains on an EEG readout. Scientists believe that K-complexes are your brain's way of maintaining sleep while still being able to respond to important stimuli. It's like having a security system that can tell the difference between a leaf falling on your roof and something that might actually require your attention. Your brain is so sophisticated that even in sleep it's still protecting you, still aware of your environment, but in a completely different way than during waking hours. But here's what I find absolutely remarkable about this stage of sleep. Your brain is beginning to consolidate memories from the day. Not just any memories, but specifically the memories that matter most. It's like your brain has its own internal editor, going through all the experiences of the day and deciding what's worth keeping and what can be let go. This process is so sophisticated that scientists are still trying to understand exactly how it works. Imagine your brain as a master librarian who's been collecting books, papers, and documents all day long. During stage 2 sleep, this librarian begins the careful process of deciding where each piece of information should be stored. Some memories get filed away in long-term storage, others get cross-referenced with existing memories to create new connections and insights, and still others get recycled because they are no longer needed. This isn't just random filing though. Your brain is incredibly selective about what it chooses to keep and where it chooses to store it. The really beautiful part about this process is that it's not just about storing individual memories. Your brain is also creating connections between memories, linking experiences from today with experiences from last week, last month, or even last year. This is where creativity and insight often come from. You know those moments when you wake up with the solution to a problem you've been working on, or when you suddenly understand something in a completely new way? That's your brain's nighttime work at its finest. During this stage, your body is also beginning to change in important ways. Your heart rate slows down, your breathing becomes deeper and more regular, and your body temperature begins to drop slightly. These changes aren't just side effects of sleep, they're actually important parts of the process. Your brain needs your body to be in this calm, stable state, so it can do its delicate work of memory, consolidation, and restoration. What's particularly fascinating is that your brain doesn't just work on memories during this time. It's also beginning to clear out waste products that have accumulated during the day. You see, your brain is incredibly active during waking hours, and all that activity creates metabolic waste, just like how a busy factory produces waste products. During the day, your brain is too busy to do much cleaning, but during sleep it can finally focus on this important maintenance work. The glymphatic system, which is like your brain's waste management system, becomes much more active during sleep. The spaces between your brain cells actually expand during sleep, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to flow more freely and wash away the waste products that have built up during the day. This includes things like beta amyloid, which is associated with Alzheimer's disease, and other potentially harmful proteins. It's like your brain has its own cleaning crew that comes in during the night shift to keep everything running smoothly. As we continue our gentle journey into the night, we arrive at what many sleep scientists consider to be the most important stage of all. Stage 3, non-REM sleep, also known as deep sleep or slow-wave sleep. This is where your brain's midnight pleasure party really begins to show its true colours. If the earlier stages were like the opening acts of a concert, this is the main event, the headliner, the part that everyone has been waiting for. During deep sleep, your brainwaves slow down dramatically, shifting into what scientists call delta waves. These are the slowest brainwaves you'll produce during the night, and they are absolutely beautiful to observe. If you could see them on an EEG machine, they would look like gentle rolling hills, rising and falling in a rhythm that's almost hypnotic. These delta waves are synchronized across your entire brain, creating a state of neural harmony that's unlike anything that happens during waking hours. What's happening during this stage is nothing short of miraculous. Your brain is engaged in what researchers call homeostatic restoration. Think of it like this. Imagine your brain is a smartphone that's been running all day, with dozens of apps open, the screen bright, and the processor working hard. By evening, the battery is running low, the device is warm, and it's starting to slow down. Deep sleep is like plugging that phone into a charger overnight, but it's so much more than just recharging the battery. During deep sleep, your brain is literally repairing itself at the cellular level. Neurons that have been damaged during the day are fixed, new connections between brain cells are strengthened, and your brain's energy stores are replenished. It's like having a team of microscopic repair workers who come in during the night shift to fix everything that got worn down during the day. This process is so important that if you don't get enough deep sleep, you'll notice the effects almost immediately. You'll feel groggy, have trouble concentrating, and find it harder to form new memories. But the restoration that happens during deep sleep isn't just about individual brain cells. Your entire nervous system is being reset and recalibrated. The connections between different regions of your brain are being strengthened or weakened based on what you experienced during the day. Pathways that were used frequently get reinforced, while pathways that weren't used much get pruned away. It's like your brain is a garden, and deep sleep is when the gardener comes in to water the plants that are thriving and remove the weeds that are no longer needed. One of the most fascinating aspects of deep sleep is how it affects your immune system. During this stage, your brain releases growth hormone, which doesn't just help children grow taller. In adults, growth hormone plays a crucial role in tissue repair, muscle recovery, and immune function. It's like your brain is sending out a signal to your entire body saying, okay, it's time to focus on maintenance and repair. Your immune system responds by ramping up its activity, producing more infection-fighting cells and antibodies. This is why people who don't get enough sleep are more likely to get sick when they are exposed to viruses or bacteria. Their brains haven't had the chance to properly coordinate the immune response. It's not just about feeling tired. It's about your body's ability to protect itself from illness. During deep sleep, your brain is essentially conducting a symphony of healing and restoration that affects every system in your body. The memory consolidation that happens during deep sleep is also different from what happens in the earlier stages. While stage 2 sleep is great for consolidating facts and information, Deep sleep is where your brain works on procedural memories, the kind of memories that help you learn new skills. If you spent the day learning to play a musical instrument, or practicing a new sport, or working on any kind of physical skill, deep sleep is when your brain takes all that practice and converts it into long-term muscle memory. What's really remarkable is that your brain doesn't just store these memories during deep sleep. It actually continues to practice them. Scientists have found that the same neural pathways that were active during the day while you were learning a new skill become active again during deep sleep, but in a very specific pattern. It's like your brain is rehearsing, going over the movements or actions again and again until they become automatic. This is why people often find that they're better at a new skill after a good night's sleep than they were before going to bed. During deep sleep, your brain also engages in what scientists call offline learning. This is when your brain takes information from different experiences and combines them in new ways, creating insights and connections that weren't obvious during waking hours. It's like having a creative team that works overnight, taking all the raw materials from the day and combining them in novel and unexpected ways. This is often where breakthrough moments come from, those sudden flashes of understanding that seem to come out of nowhere but are actually the result of your brain's sophisticated nighttime processing. After spending time in the deep restorative world of slow-wave sleep, your brain begins to prepare for perhaps the most mysterious and captivating part of the entire sleep cycle, REM sleep or rapid eye movement sleep. This is where your brain's midnight pleasure party reaches its crescendo, where the most vivid dreams occur, and where some of the most fascinating neuroscience discoveries of the past century have been made. The transition into REM sleep is like watching a theatre transform between acts. The stage that was quiet and focused during deep sleep suddenly comes alive with activity, lights and motion. Your brain waves, which were slow and synchronized during deep sleep, suddenly become fast and chaotic, almost indistinguishable from the brain waves you produce when you're awake. But here's the fascinating paradox. While your brain is highly active, your body becomes almost completely paralyzed. This paralysis isn't something to be concerned about. It's actually one of the most ingenious safety mechanisms your brain has ever evolved. During REM sleep, your brain is so active and your dreams are so vivid that without this paralysis, you would act out every dream you have. Imagine if every time you dreamed about running, you actually got up and started running in your sleep. The paralysis that occurs during REM sleep keeps you safe while allowing your brain to experience incredibly vivid and often bizarre dreams. The name rapid eye movement comes from one of the most visible signs of this sleep stage. Your eyes move rapidly back and forth under your closed eyelids, as if you're watching a movie or following action in your dreams. Scientists discovered this phenomenon in the 1950s, and it revolutionized our understanding of sleep. Before this discovery, many people assumed that sleep was a passive state where the brain simply shut down. The discovery of REM sleep showed that the brain is actually incredibly active during certain stages of sleep, sometimes even more active than during waking hours. What's happening in your brain during REM sleep is absolutely extraordinary. The areas of your brain responsible for learning, memory, and emotional processing become incredibly active. Meanwhile, the areas responsible for logical thinking and self-awareness become much less active. This creates the perfect conditions for the kind of creative, illogical, and often emotional experiences we call dreams. It's like your brain is a movie director who's been given unlimited creative freedom and no budget constraints. During REM sleep, your brain is processing emotional memories in ways that are completely different from how it processes them during waking hours. The amygdala, which is your brain's emotional center, becomes highly active, while the prefrontal cortex, which normally keeps emotions in check, becomes much less active. This allows your brain to work through emotional experiences without the usual filters of logic and social appropriateness. It's like having a private therapy session where you can explore your deepest feelings without judgment or consequences. This emotional processing function of REM sleep is incredibly important for mental health. People who don't get enough REM sleep often have difficulty regulating their emotions during waking hours. They might find themselves more irritable, more anxious, or less able to cope with stress. It's as if their brains haven't had the chance to properly process and integrate the emotional experiences of the day. REM sleep gives your brain the time and space it needs to work through these experiences in a safe environment. The dreams that occur during REM sleep are also where your brain engages in some of its most creative problem solving. Because the logical, critical parts of your brain are less active during REM sleep, your mind is free to make connections and associations that might seem impossible during waking hours. This is why many artists, writers, and scientists have reported having their best ideas in dreams. The brain is essentially free to play, to experiment, to try out new combinations of ideas without the usual constraints of logic and practicality. One of the most fascinating aspects of REM sleep is how it affects memory consolidation. While deep sleep is great for consolidating factual information and procedural memories, REM sleep is where your brain works on integrating new experiences with existing knowledge. It's like having a master librarian who doesn't just file away individual books, but actually reads them and then writes new books that combine ideas from multiple sources. This integration process is crucial for learning and creativity. During REM sleep, your brain also engages in what scientists call memory replay. The same neural pathways that were active during important experiences of the day become active again during REM sleep, but in a modified form. It's like your brain is reviewing footage from the day, but with the ability to edit, enhance, and combine different scenes in new ways. This process helps to strengthen important memories while also creating new insights and connections. The neurochemistry of REM sleep is also fascinating. During this stage, your brain produces very little norepinephrine, dopamine, or serotonin, which are the neurotransmitters that help keep you alert and focused during waking hours. Instead, your brain is flooded with acetylcholine, which is associated with learning and memory formation. It's like your brain is switching from its daytime neurochemical cocktail to its nighttime blend, creating the perfect conditions for the kind of processing that happens during dreams. As your body settles deeper into your bed and your breathing begins to slow, something truly magical starts to happen in the intricate landscape of your mind. The transition from wakefulness to sleep isn't like flipping a switch, but rather like the gentle dimming of lights in a grand theatre as the evening's performance begins. Your brain, that magnificent 3-pound universe housed within your skull, begins to orchestrate one of the most beautiful and complex transformations in all of biology. Picture, if you will, the bustling activity of a vibrant city as the sun begins to set. During your waking hours, your brain operates much like this metropolis at rush hour. Billions of neurons fire rapidly, sending messages back and forth across synaptic highways, processing the constant stream of information from your senses, managing your thoughts, emotions, and movements. The neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers that allow your brain cells to communicate, are working overtime, carrying signals at lightning speed through the neural networks that make you, you. But as sleep approaches, this bustling neural city begins to transform. The activity doesn't simply stop. Instead, it shifts into something entirely different, something that scientists are only now beginning to fully appreciate. The transition into stage 1 sleep, that gossamer thin boundary between waking and sleeping, is where your brain begins to rewrite the very rules of how it operates. In this delicate phase, which typically lasts only 5 to 10 minutes, your brain waves begin to slow down from the rapid beta waves of wakefulness to the more languid alpha and theta waves. If you could observe your brain during this time with an electroencephalogram, you would see the jagged, frenetic patterns of conscious thought gradually giving way to slower, more rhythmic waves. It's as if your brain is learning to breathe more deeply, each wave representing a slower, more deliberate pulse of neural activity. During this precious window, your conscious mind begins to loosen its grip on reality. You might experience hypnagogic hallucinations, those strange, dreamlike images or sounds that seem to float at the edges of your awareness. Perhaps you see colours swirling behind your closed eyelids, or hear someone calling your name when no one is there. These aren't signs of anything wrong, they're actually evidence of your brain's remarkable ability to transition between different states of consciousness. Your muscles, too, begin to participate in this gentle transformation. The deliberate tension you maintain throughout the day in your posture, in your facial expressions, in the very way you hold your body, begins to melt away like warm wax. This muscular relaxation isn't just a side effect of sleep, it's an essential part of the process. Your brain is actively commanding your muscles to release their daytime vigilance, sending signals through your nervous system that it's safe to let go, safe to be vulnerable, safe to rest. Sometimes, just as you're drifting off, you might experience a sudden jolt, a hypnic jerk that makes you feel as though you're falling. This startling sensation, which affects up to 70% of people as they fall asleep, is believed to be an evolutionary remnant from our ancient ancestors. Some scientists theorize that this reflexive muscle contraction once served as a final safety check, ensuring that our predecessors weren't actually falling from trees as they settled in for the night. Today, it's simply your brain's way of making one last survey of your environment before fully committing to the vulnerable state of sleep. As you slip past the threshold of stage 1 sleep, you enter into stage 2, the realm where your brain truly begins to demonstrate its nighttime genius. This stage, which occupies roughly 45 to 55% of your total sleep time, is where the real magic of sleep maintenance begins to unfold. If stage 1 is like dipping your toes into the ocean of sleep, stage 2 is like wading in up to your waist, feeling the gentle currents of unconsciousness support and cradle you. In this deeper state of light sleep, your brain becomes both guardian and architect. While you rest peacefully, unaware of the world around you, your sleeping mind is actually working harder than ever, employing sophisticated mechanisms to protect your slumber while simultaneously preparing for the profound restoration that lies ahead in the deeper stages of sleep. The most fascinating characters in this nighttime drama are the sleep spindles, brief, beautiful bursts of brain activity that occur every few seconds during stage 2 sleep. Named for their distinctive spindle shape when viewed on an EEG, these neural events last only half a second to 2 seconds, but they represent one of the most elegant solutions in all of neuroscience. Generated by a small but crucial structure called the thalamus, which sits like a relay station in the center of your brain, sleep spindles serve as gatekeepers of consciousness. Imagine the thalamus as a wise ancient doorkeeper standing guard at the entrance to your conscious mind. During waking hours, this doorkeeper allows countless sensory messages to pass through. The sound of traffic outside your window, the feeling of your clothes against your skin, the sight of shadows dancing on the wall. But when sleep spindles begin to fire, the thalamus essentially closes the door to consciousness, preventing these sensory signals from reaching the higher areas of your brain where they would be processed into conscious awareness. This is why, during stage 2 sleep, you become remarkably disconnected from your environment. The sound of a car passing by, which would have easily captured your attention while awake, now fails to penetrate the protective barrier that your sleep spindles have created. Your brain has essentially built a fortress of unconsciousness, allowing your deeper neural processes to proceed without interruption. But sleep spindles do more than just guard your sleep. They also play a crucial role in learning and memory. Research has shown that people who produce more sleep spindles tend to be better at learning new information and are less likely to be awakened by external sounds. It's as if your brain has learned to create a more efficient, more protective sleep environment, optimizing both the quality of your rest and your ability to consolidate the day's experiences into lasting memories. Working alongside the sleep spindles are another fascinating phenomenon called K-complexes, sudden, dramatic spikes in brain activity that appear on EEG recordings like mountain peaks rising from a calm valley. These K-complexes, which can occur spontaneously or in response to external stimuli, represent your brain's way of briefly checking in with the outside world without fully awakening. They're like a security guard making rounds, quickly assessing whether anything in the environment requires immediate attention before allowing sleep to continue undisturbed. During this stage, your body temperature begins to drop more significantly, falling by 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit. This cooling isn't accidental, it's a carefully orchestrated part of your body's sleep machinery. The drop in core temperature helps trigger deeper sleep stages and is controlled by the same part of your brain, the hypothalamus, that regulates your internal clock. It's why a cooler bedroom often leads to better sleep. You're working with your brain's natural temperature regulation rather than against it. Your heart rate and breathing also settle into slower, more regular patterns during stage 2 sleep. The cardiovascular system, which has been working tirelessly throughout the day to support your activities, finally gets a chance to operate at a more leisurely pace. This reduction in heart rate and blood pressure gives your cardiovascular system crucial time to recover and repair, which is part of why consistent, quality sleep is so vital for heart health. While you lie peacefully in stage 2 sleep, your brain begins one of its most important nighttime jobs, weaving the scattered threads of your day's experiences into the tapestry of your long-term memory. This process, known as memory consolidation, is so fundamental to who you are as a person that without it, you would essentially lose the ability to learn, grow, and maintain a continuous sense of self. Throughout your waking hours, your brain is constantly taking in new information. Faces you see, conversations you have, skills you practice, facts you learn. But this information doesn't immediately become part of your permanent memory storage. Instead, it exists in a fragile temporary state, like delicate flowers that could wither away if not properly tended. Sleep, particularly the light stages we're exploring now, is when your brain begins the careful work of deciding which of these temporary memories deserve to be preserved and strengthened. The process begins in your hippocampus, a small seahorse-shaped structure deep within your brain that serves as a kind of temporary storage facility for new memories. During the day, your hippocampus collects these experiences, holding on to them like a librarian gathering books that need to be properly catalogued and shelved. But the hippocampus has limited storage space, so during sleep, it begins the process of transferring the most important memories to the vast storage networks of your cerebral cortex. This transfer isn't random or haphazard. Your sleeping brain demonstrates remarkable wisdom in choosing which memories to preserve and strengthen. Emotional memories, those experiences that made you laugh, cry, feel surprised, or experience any strong emotion, receive priority treatment. Your brain seems to understand intuitively that emotionally significant events are more likely to be important for your future survival and well-being. But it's not just emotional memories that get special attention during stage 2 sleep. Your brain also focuses on information that it has determined to be relevant to your goals, interests, and daily life. If you spent the day learning a new language, practicing a musical instrument, or studying for an exam, your sleeping brain will prioritize consolidating these memories, strengthening the neural pathways that encode this new knowledge. The sleep spindles we discussed earlier play a crucial role in this memory consolidation process. Recent research has revealed that these brief bursts of neural activity aren't just protecting your sleep, they're actually facilitating the transfer of memories from temporary to permanent storage. The rhythmic firing of sleep spindles helps coordinate the dialogue between your hippocampus and your cortex, creating windows of opportunity for memory transfer to occur. Think of sleep spindles as the rhythm section in a complex orchestra of memory consolidation. Just as a drummer provides the beat that allows other musicians to play in harmony, sleep spindles provide the temporal framework that allows different brain regions to synchronize their activity and work together in moving memories from temporary storage to permanent archives. During this process, your brain doesn't simply copy memories from one location to another, like transferring files on a computer. Instead, it actively reconstructs and reorganizes them, sometimes combining related memories, strengthening important connections, and even extracting general patterns and rules from specific experiences. This is why you might go to sleep struggling with a problem and wake up with a solution, or why practice sessions separated by sleep are often more effective than continuous practice. Your brain is also busy during stage 2 sleep, identifying and discarding unnecessary information. Just as a good editor removes extraneous words to strengthen a piece of writing, your sleeping brain prunes away irrelevant details while preserving the essential core of your experiences. This selective forgetting is actually crucial for learning and memory function. If you remembered every single detail of every moment, your mind would become cluttered with trivia, making it difficult to identify and recall truly important information. As your brain continues its gentle work of memory consolidation during stage 2 sleep, another equally important process begins to unfold, one that scientists have only recently discovered and that revolutionizes our understanding of why sleep is so essential for brain health. This is the remarkable story of your brain's nighttime cleaning crew, a sophisticated system that literally washes away the toxic waste products that accumulate in your neural tissue during waking hours. During your active day, your brain cells are working intensively, consuming glucose and oxygen to fuel the constant firing of neurons and the maintenance of cellular processes. Like any hard-working biological system, this activity produces waste products, toxic proteins and cellular debris that, if allowed to accumulate, could damage your neural tissue and impair brain function. For many years, scientists puzzled over how the brain managed to dispose of this waste, since it lacks the lymphatic system that handles waste removal in the rest of your body. The answer, discovered only in the last decade, is the glymphatic system, a remarkable network of channels that uses the flow of cerebrospinal fluid to flush toxins from your brain tissue. Named for its dependence on glial cells, the supportive cells that surround neurons, and its similarity to the lymphatic system, the glymphatic system becomes dramatically more active during sleep, particularly during the light stages we're exploring now. Picture your brain as a bustling city during the day, with neural traffic rushing along cellular highways and waste products accumulating on the streets like litter. When sleep begins, it's as if the city transforms overnight into a perfectly orchestrated cleaning operation. The spaces between your brain cells, which during wakefulness are relatively narrow corridors, expand by up to 60% during sleep. This expansion creates wider channels for cerebrospinal fluid to flow through, much like opening floodgates to allow a powerful river to sweep through and carry away accumulated debris. The timing of this process is exquisitely coordinated with your sleep stages. As you settle into stage 2 sleep, your brain cells begin to shrink slightly, not from damage but as part of this cleaning protocol. This cellular shrinkage increases the space available for cerebrospinal fluid to flow, creating an efficient waste removal system that operates like a sophisticated street cleaning operation, working under cover of darkness. One of the most important waste products that gets cleared during this process is a protein called beta amyloid. During your waking hours, beta amyloid naturally accumulates in your brain tissue as a byproduct of normal neural activity. While small amounts of this protein are normal, excessive accumulation has been linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Your glymphatic system acts as a crucial defense against this accumulation, washing away beta amyloid before it can form the dangerous plaques associated with neurodegenerative diseases. The discovery of the glymphatic system has profound implications for our understanding of sleep's role in maintaining brain health throughout your lifetime. It suggests that sleep isn't just a passive state of rest, but an active process of neural maintenance and protection. Each night, as you drift through the stages of sleep, your brain is literally cleaning itself, preparing for another day of optimal function. This cleaning process is enhanced by your sleeping position. Research has shown that sleeping on your side may facilitate lymphatic flow more effectively than sleeping on your back or stomach. The position of your head and neck affects the flow of cerebrospinal fluid, much like how the position of a garden hose affects water flow. While your brain's cleaning system works regardless of position, side sleeping may provide a slight advantage in waste clearance efficiency. The glymphatic system's activity is also influenced by various lifestyle factors. Regular exercise, for instance, appears to enhance glymphatic function, possibly by improving cardiovascular health and cerebrospinal fluid flow. Alcohol consumption, on the other hand, can impair glymphatic activity, which may partially explain why excessive drinking is associated with increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases. As stage 2 sleep deepens and your brain continues its essential maintenance work, subtle changes begin to occur that signal the approach of something even more profound. Your neural landscape is preparing for a transformation that will take you into the deepest, most restorative phases of sleep. Like stagehands working behind the curtains before a grand performance, various systems in your brain and body begin making preparations for the remarkable journey ahead. Your brain waves, which during early stage 2 sleep consisted primarily of sleep spindles and K complexes riding on a background of relatively low amplitude activity, begin to show the first hints of something new. Scattered among the familiar patterns, slower, more powerful waves begin to appear, the first whispers of the delta waves that will soon dominate your neural activity. These delta waves, oscillating at frequencies of 0.5 to 4 cycles per second, are like the deep resonant notes of a bass drum compared to the lighter, faster rhythms of waking consciousness. The transition from stage 2 to the deeper stages of sleep doesn't happen all at once across your entire brain. Instead, it begins in localized regions and gradually spreads, like the slow progression of twilight across a landscape. Certain areas of your brain, particularly those that were most active during the day, tend to transition into deep sleep first. This is part of a fascinating phenomenon called local sleep, where different brain regions can be in different stages of sleep simultaneously. If you spent your day engaged in intense mental work, the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for complex thinking, planning and decision-making, might slip into deep sleep stages while other areas remain in lighter sleep. This regional variation in sleep depth is your brain's way of providing extra restoration to the areas that need it most, like a massage therapist focusing special attention on your most tense and overworked muscles. During this transitional period, your body's temperature regulation becomes even more precise. Your core body temperature continues its gradual decline, but now this cooling is accompanied by subtle changes in how your blood vessels behave. The small blood vessels in your hands and feet, called peripheral vessels, begin to dilate more extensively, allowing heat to escape from your body's core and be dissipated through your extremities. This is why your hands and feet often feel warmer when you're falling into deeper sleep, even though your overall body temperature is dropping. Your endocrine system, the network of glands that produce hormones, also begins shifting into its nighttime configuration during this preparatory phase. Growth hormone, which plays crucial roles in tissue repair, immune function, and cellular regeneration, starts to increase in preparation for its major release that will occur during deep sleep. Meanwhile, cortisol, the stress hormone that helps keep you alert and responsive during the day, continues its natural decline toward its nighttime low point. This hormonal shift is like a changing of the guard in your body's command center. The daytime hormones that promote alertness, energy metabolism, and stress response gradually step back, while the nighttime hormones that facilitate repair, growth, and restoration begin to take their positions. This transition is so important that disruptions to your sleep schedule can throw your entire hormonal system out of balance, affecting everything from your immune function to your mood regulation. Your immune system, too, begins to shift into its nocturnal mode during this preparatory phase. During the day, your immune system is primarily focused on surveillance and immediate response to threats. But during sleep, it transitions into a more proactive mode, ramping up the production of infection-fighting cells and antibodies. This is why people who don't get enough sleep are more susceptible to illnesses like colds and flu. Their immune systems don't have adequate time to perform this essential nighttime boost. The preparation for deep sleep also involves changes in your brain's neurotransmitter systems. Acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that promotes wakefulness and is involved in learning and memory, decreases significantly. At the same time, GABA, the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter, becomes more active, further promoting the neural quieting that characterizes deep sleep. These neurotransmitter changes work together to create the perfect biochemical environment for the profound restoration that's about to unfold. As these various systems prepare for the transition to deep sleep, your sleeping brain demonstrates an almost orchestral coordination. Like musicians tuning their instruments before a symphony, each system adjusts its activity to harmonize with the others. Your brain waves slow, your body temperature drops, your hormones shift, your immune system activates, and your neurotransmitters rebalance, all in preparation for the most restorative and mysterious stages of sleep that lie ahead. This preparation phase is also when your brain fine-tunes the memory consolidation processes that began in earlier sleep stages. The preliminary sorting and organizing of memories that occurred during stage 2 sleep now gives way to more sophisticated processing. Your brain begins to identify not just which memories to keep, but how to integrate them with your existing knowledge and experience. It's like a librarian who has finished the initial sorting of new books and is now beginning the more complex work of deciding exactly where each book belongs in the vast catalogue of your life's experiences. The transition into deep sleep is also influenced by your sleep debt, the accumulated need for sleep that builds up during your waking hours. The longer you've been awake, the stronger the pressure for deep sleep becomes. This sleep pressure is mediated by a chemical called adenosine, which accumulates in your brain during wakefulness and creates an increasing drive for sleep. As you prepare to enter the deepest stages of sleep, adenosine levels are at their peak, creating optimal conditions for the profound restoration that's about to begin. Throughout this entire preparatory process, your brain maintains its protective vigilance. Even as it prepares for the vulnerability of deep sleep, it continues to monitor your environment for potential threats. Your auditory system remains partially active, capable of detecting unusual or potentially dangerous sounds that might require you to wake up quickly. This balance between deep restoration and protective awareness represents millions of years of evolutionary refinement, allowing you to gain the benefits of profound sleep while maintaining the ability to respond to true emergencies. As we reach the end of this gentle exploration of your brain's preparation for deep sleep, we find ourselves standing at the threshold of even more remarkable discoveries. The stages we've explored so far, the gentle descent into light sleep, the guardian mechanisms of stage 2, the memory weaving and cellular cleaning, are all building towards something even more extraordinary. Your brain is like a master craftsperson who has spent careful time preparing tools and materials for a great work of art. And now the moment approaches when the true masterpiece of sleep will begin to unfold. The transition from light sleep to deep sleep represents one of the most dramatic transformations in brain activity that occurs during normal human experience. It's a shift so profound that researchers sometimes compare it to the difference between a bustling city and a vast, quiet ocean. Yet this transition happens so smoothly, so naturally, that you remain completely unaware of the remarkable neural symphony that's orchestrating your journey into the deepest realms of rest and restoration. As we venture deeper into your brain's nightly journey, imagine descending into the most sacred chamber of sleep. You've passed through the gentle gates of stage 1, navigated the protective fortress of stage 2, and now you're approaching something truly extraordinary. deep sleep, or slow-wave sleep as scientists lovingly call it, is like discovering a hidden underground cathedral beneath your consciousness, where the most profound healing and restoration takes place. Picture your brainwaves during this stage as massive, rolling ocean swells rather than the quick ripples of wakefulness. These delta waves, measuring less than 4 cycles per second, move through your brain like gentle giants, each one carrying with it the power to heal, restore, and rejuvenate. If your waking brain waves are like the quick patter of raindrops, these deep sleep waves are like the slow, rhythmic breathing of the earth itself. Dr. Matthew Walker, one of the world's leading sleep researchers, describes deep sleep as the body's fountain of youth. And when you understand what's happening during these precious hours, you'll see why this comparison is so beautifully accurate. Your growth hormone, which acts like nature's own repair crew, surges to levels 20 times higher than during wakefulness. Imagine thousands of tiny construction workers suddenly flooding into every cell of your body, armed with the tools they need to fix what's been damaged and strengthen what needs reinforcing. But here's where the story becomes even more enchanting. Your brain, during these deep sleep moments, becomes like a master conductor orchestrating the most complex symphony ever composed. Every system in your body begins to synchronize in ways that seem almost magical. Your heart rate slows to its most peaceful rhythm, your breathing deepens and becomes more regular, and your blood pressure drops to levels that give your cardiovascular system the rest it desperately needs. Scientists have discovered that during deep sleep, your brain's blood flow increases by up to 40%. Think of this as opening all the windows in a stuffy room, allowing fresh air to circulate and clear away the mental fog that accumulates during your waking hours. This increased blood flow isn't random. It's your brain's way of delivering essential nutrients and oxygen to regions that have worked hardest during the day, while simultaneously preparing to wash away the metabolic waste that builds up like dust in an active workshop. The temperature regulation during deep sleep tells its own fascinating story. Your body's core temperature drops by 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit, creating what researchers call the optimal thermal environment for cellular repair. It's as if your body knows that just like a computer performs better when it's cool, your biological systems work most efficiently when the internal temperature is lowered during these crucial repair hours. What makes deep sleep particularly magical is how it affects your brain's plasticity, its ability to adapt, change, and form new connections. During these slow-wave periods, your neurons are literally rewiring themselves, strengthening the connections that serve you well and allowing weaker, less useful pathways to fade away. It's like having a master gardener tend to your mental landscape each night, pruning what doesn't serve you and nurturing what helps you grow. Research from Harvard Medical School has shown that people who get adequate deep sleep show dramatically improved problem-solving abilities the next day. It's not just that they're more rested, their brains have literally reorganized information in new ways, often leading to those wonderful aha moments that seem to come from nowhere. The saying "sleep on it" turns out to be some of the best advice science has ever validated. Your immune system during deep sleep becomes like an army of healers working in perfect coordination. White blood cells multiply more rapidly, your body produces more infection-fighting antibodies, and inflammatory processes that can damage tissues during waking hours are actively suppressed. Studies have shown that people who consistently get quality deep sleep are 3 times less likely to catch a cold when exposed to viruses, and when they do get sick, they recover significantly faster. The relationship between deep sleep and emotional regulation reveals another layer of this nightly miracle. The amygdala, your brain's alarm system that processes fear and emotional memories, becomes less reactive during deep sleep stages. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, which helps you make rational decisions and regulate emotions, strengthens its connections. It's as if deep sleep acts like a wise counselor, helping you process difficult emotions and emerge with greater emotional resilience. Perhaps most remarkably, deep sleep appears to slow down the aging process at the cellular level. During these stages, your cells produce more of the proteins needed to repair DNA damage that accumulates throughout the day. Telomeres, the protective caps on your chromosomes that are considered markers of biological aging, are maintained more effectively when you consistently experience quality deep sleep. In essence, each night of good deep sleep is like taking a step back from the aging process. The agricultural metaphor becomes particularly powerful when we consider deep sleep. If your waking hours are like the growing season, with constant activity, energy expenditure, and accumulation of waste products, then deep sleep is like the fallow period, when the soil of your being is renewed. Farmers have known for centuries that land needs time to rest and regenerate, and your brain follows this same ancient wisdom, using deep sleep as its regenerative season. As your brain settles into its deepest sleep phase, one of the most remarkable discoveries in modern neuroscience begins to unfold. It's a process so elegant and essential that when researchers first discovered it, they could hardly believe what they were seeing. Your brain, during these precious deep sleep hours, activates what scientists now call the glymphatic system, essentially your brain's own sophisticated cleaning crew that works the night shift. Imagine your brain as a bustling city during the day. Cars drive down neural highways, pedestrians walk along synaptic sidewalks, and the constant activity of thinking, learning, and processing creates a kind of mental traffic. Just like any busy city, this activity generates waste metabolic byproducts that accumulate in the spaces between your brain cells, like litter on busy streets. During waking hours, your brain is too busy managing the demands of consciousness to do much cleaning, but when deep sleep arrives, it's as if the city shuts down for the most thorough cleaning operation imaginable. Dr. Maiken Nedergaard, the brilliant researcher who discovered the glymphatic system at the University of Rochester, describes this process as being like watching a dishwasher for the brain. But perhaps an even more beautiful analogy is to think of it as a gentle nighttime rain that washes clean the pathways of your mind. During deep sleep, the spaces between your brain cells expand by up to 60%, creating wider channels for cerebrospinal fluid to flow through your brain tissue like clear, healing streams. This cerebrospinal fluid, which surrounds your brain and spinal cord, becomes incredibly active during deep sleep. It pulses through your brain tissue in waves that are synchronized with your slow brain waves and your heartbeat, creating a rhythmic washing action that would make any cleaning system jealous. Think of it as nature's own pressure washer, designed specifically to reach into the tiniest spaces where toxic waste products like to hide. The waste products that get cleaned away during this process aren't just random cellular debris. They include some of the most dangerous proteins associated with neurodegenerative diseases. Beta amyloid plaques, which accumulate in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease, are actively flushed away during deep sleep. Tau proteins, another hallmark of dementia, are similarly cleared from your brain tissue during these cleaning cycles. It's as if your brain has its own specialized hazmat team that works exclusively during deep sleep to remove the most toxic substances that could otherwise damage your cognitive abilities over time. The timing of this cleaning process is absolutely crucial. Research has shown that the glymphatic system is approximately 10 times more active during sleep than during waking hours. This isn't a coincidence. It's an evolutionary masterpiece. Your brain simply cannot perform this intensive cleaning while simultaneously managing the complex demands of consciousness. It would be like trying to deep clean a restaurant while it's packed with customers. Theoretically possible, but highly inefficient and potentially disruptive. What makes this system even more fascinating is how it's controlled by your brain's position during sleep. Studies have found that sleeping on your side allows for the most efficient glymphatic drainage, possibly because this position optimizes the flow of cerebrospinal fluid through brain tissue. It's remarkable to think that something as simple as your sleeping position can influence how effectively your brain cleans itself each night. The relationship between the glymphatic system and your brain's blood vessels reveals another layer of this nightly miracle. The walls of your brain's arteries are surrounded by specialized cells called astrocytes, which act like microscopic pumps, actively pushing cerebrospinal fluid through brain tissue. During deep sleep, these astrocytes shrink slightly, creating more space for fluid flow, while simultaneously becoming more active in their pumping action. It's like having a team of workers who not only move aside to create more space, but also work harder to ensure the cleaning process is as thorough as possible. The waste products removed by the glymphatic system don't just disappear. They're transported to your lymphatic system and eventually processed by your liver and kidneys, the same organs that clean other toxins from your body. This creates a beautiful integration between your brain's cleaning system and your body's overall detoxification processes. Your entire body works together during sleep to ensure that toxic waste is not just moved around, but actually eliminated from your system. Researchers have discovered that factors which improve your overall health also enhance glymphatic function. Regular exercise, for instance, increases the production of growth factors that support astrocyte function and improve cerebrospinal fluid flow. Staying well hydrated ensures that there's plenty of fluid available for the cleaning process. Even your diet plays a role. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids support the health of the blood-brain barrier and may enhance glymphatic efficiency. The implications of glymphatic system research for understanding sleep disorders are profound. People with sleep apnea, who experience frequent interruptions to their deep sleep, show reduced glymphatic function and higher levels of toxic proteins in their brains. This may help explain why sleep apnea is associated with increased risk of dementia and cognitive decline. It's not just that poor sleep makes you feel tired, it literally prevents your brain from cleaning itself properly. Perhaps most remarkably, scientists have found that the glymphatic system can be influenced by your autonomic nervous system, the part of your nervous system that controls automatic functions like heart rate and breathing. During deep sleep, when your parasympathetic nervous system is most active, glymphatic function reaches its peak efficiency. This creates a beautiful feedback loop. The deeper and more restful your sleep, the more effectively your brain can clean itself, which in turn supports better cognitive function and potentially even better sleep quality. The discovery of the glymphatic system has revolutionized our understanding of why sleep is so essential for brain health. It's not just about giving your conscious mind a rest. It's about allowing your brain to perform essential maintenance that cannot happen any other way. Each night of quality deep sleep is like giving your brain a thorough spa treatment, washing away the accumulated stress and toxins of the day and preparing your neural networks for optimal function. While your brain's cleaning crew works diligently to remove unwanted waste, another equally magical process unfolds in the deeper chambers of sleep. Your brain becomes like the world's most skilled architect and librarian combined, carefully sorting through the day's experiences and constructing what neuroscientists call your memory palaces. This process of memory consolidation during deep sleep is so intricate and beautiful that it rivals any human construction project in its complexity and precision. Imagine your hippocampus, that seahorse-shaped structure deep within your brain, as a master builder who has spent the day collecting raw materials. Every conversation you had, every sight you saw, every emotion you felt, every skill you practiced. During waking hours, these experiences exist as temporary sketches, rough drafts stored in what scientists call short-term or working memory. But during deep sleep, your hippocampus begins the remarkable process of deciding which of these experiences deserve permanent architecture in the vast library of your long-term memory. The conversation between your hippocampus and your neocortex during deep sleep is like watching two master craftspeople collaborate on creating something beautiful and lasting. Your hippocampus acts as the curator, selecting the most important memories from the day's collection, while your neocortex provides the permanent gallery space where these memories will be housed for years, decades, or even a lifetime. This transfer process happens during the deepest stages of sleep. when your brain waves create the perfect conditions for this delicate architectural work. Dr. Georgi Basaki, a renowned neuroscientist at New York University, describes this memory consolidation process as a dialogue between different brain regions. During deep sleep, your hippocampus literally replays the day's experiences, but at a much faster speed, like watching a movie in fast forward. These rapid replay sequences, called sharp wave ripples, can compress several minutes of real-time experience into just a few seconds of neural activity. It's as if your brain is creating highlight reels of your day, emphasizing the most important moments while allowing less significant details to fade away. But this isn't just about storing memories, it's about creating connections between them. During deep sleep, your brain doesn't just file away individual experiences like books on a shelf. Instead, it weaves them together, finding patterns, making associations, and building the kind of rich, interconnected knowledge networks that allow for creative thinking and problem solving. A conversation you had with a friend might get connected to something you read in a book, which might link to a childhood memory, creating a web of associations that didn't exist before you went to sleep. The selectivity of this process is absolutely fascinating. Your brain doesn't try to remember everything. That would be neither possible nor useful. Instead, it makes sophisticated decisions about what to keep based on factors like emotional significance, repetition, and relevance to your goals and interests. Memories that were tagged with strong emotions during the day are more likely to be selected for long-term storage, which is why you probably remember exactly where you were during significant life events, but might not recall what you had for lunch 3 Tuesdays ago. The role of sleep spindles in this memory construction process adds another layer of wonder to the story. These brief bursts of brain activity, lasting just a second or two, act like little shuttles carrying information between your thalamus and your cortex. Think of them as express elevators in your memory palace, rapidly transporting precious cargo from temporary storage areas to permanent archives. People who produce more sleep spindles during the night show better memory performance the following day, suggesting that some brains are naturally more efficient at this nighttime construction work. Different types of memories get processed during different stages of deep sleep, creating what researchers call a division of labor in your sleeping brain. Declarative memories, the facts, names, and events that you can consciously recall, are primarily consolidated during the deepest stages of non-REM sleep. Meanwhile, procedural memories, the skills and habits that become automatic through practice, are refined during different sleep stages. It's like having different construction crews working on different parts of your memory palace simultaneously, each specialized for their particular type of architectural work. The enhancement of memories during sleep goes beyond just storing them, it actually improves them. Studies have shown that people often perform better on tasks after sleeping than they did before sleep, even without additional practice. This improvement, called sleep-dependent learning, occurs because your brain doesn't just passively store memories during sleep, it actively works to optimize them, removing unnecessary details while strengthening the most important elements. It's like having an editor review your work overnight and return it to you in the morning, polished and improved. The integration of new memories with existing knowledge during deep sleep creates opportunities for insight and creativity that are simply impossible during waking hours. When your brain is free from the immediate demands of processing sensory information and making conscious decisions, it can make connections between seemingly unrelated pieces of information. This is why solutions to complex problems often seem to appear magically after a good night's sleep. Your brain has been working on them all night, finding connections and patterns that your conscious mind missed. Researchers reveal that the physical structure of your brain actually changes during sleep-dependent memory consolidation. New synaptic connections are formed, existing connections are strengthened or weakened, and the overall architecture of your neural networks is refined. It's not metaphorical construction, it's literal construction, with proteins being synthesized and cellular structures being modified to create the physical foundation for your new memories. The social and emotional aspects of memory consolidation during deep sleep are particularly poignant. Memories of interactions with loved ones, moments of joy, experiences of beauty, and times of personal growth are often prioritized for consolidation. Your sleeping brain seems to understand instinctively that these memories are the ones most worth preserving, creating a kind of automatic curation system that helps build the story of who you are and what matters most to you. The relationship between memory, consolidation, and forgetting during deep sleep reveals one final beautiful aspect of this process. Just as a master sculptor removes excess stone to reveal the artwork within, your brain during deep sleep actively forgets irrelevant details while preserving what's most important. This forgetting isn't a failure of the system, it's a feature. By allowing unnecessary information to fade away, your brain ensures that your memory palace doesn't become cluttered with trivial details that might interfere with accessing truly important memories. As your brain continues its deep sleep restoration work, another magnificent orchestra begins to play, the hormonal symphony that transforms your body from the inside out. This intricate dance of chemical messengers during deep sleep is so perfectly choreographed that it makes the most complex musical compositions seem simple by comparison. Each hormone has its part to play, its moment to shine, and its contribution to the overall harmony of your nighttime restoration. Growth hormone takes center stage as the lead performer in this hormonal symphony. During deep sleep, your pituitary gland releases pulses of growth hormone that can reach levels 20 times higher than during waking hours. But don't let the name fool you. This isn't just about physical growth in children. In adults, growth hormone acts more like a master restoration specialist, traveling through your bloodstream to repair damaged tissues, strengthen your immune system, and maintain the health of virtually every organ in your body. Picture growth hormone as thousands of tiny repair workers flooding into your muscle tissues during deep sleep. They work diligently to fix the microscopic damage caused by the day's activities, whether you spent your day at a desk or training for a marathon. This is why athletes often say they grow stronger while they sleep. It's not just a figure of speech, it's biological reality. Your muscles literally rebuild themselves during deep sleep, becoming more resilient and capable than they were when you went to bed. But growth hormone's role extends far beyond muscle repair. It stimulates the production of collagen, the protein that keeps your skin elastic and youthful. It promotes the growth of new bone tissue, helping to maintain bone density as you age. It supports the health of your organs, from your heart to your liver to your kidneys. In essence, growth hormone during deep sleep acts like a full-body renovation crew, touching every system and ensuring that you wake up more restored than when you went to sleep. Cortisol, often misunderstood as simply a stress hormone, plays a crucial supporting role in your nighttime hormonal symphony. During deep sleep, cortisol levels drop to their lowest point of the day, allowing your body's inflammatory processes to calm down and your immune system to focus on healing rather than fighting perceived threats. This natural cortisol rhythm is so important that disruptions to it are associated with everything from weight gain to mood disorders to compromised immune function. The relationship between cortisol and deep sleep creates a beautiful feedback loop. Quality deep sleep helps maintain healthy cortisol rhythms, and healthy cortisol rhythms support quality deep sleep. When this system works properly, you experience what researchers call cortisol awakening response, a natural rise in cortisol just before you wake up that helps you feel alert and energized for the day ahead. It's like having your own internal alarm clock that not only wakes you up, but also provides the energy you need to start your day with vitality. Melatonin, the hormone most people associate with sleep, continues to work its magic throughout the deep sleep stages. Produced by your pineal gland in response to darkness, melatonin doesn't just help you fall asleep, It acts as a powerful antioxidant throughout the night, protecting your cells from damage caused by free radicals. Think of melatonin as a gentle night watchman, patrolling your body during sleep hours and neutralizing harmful substances that could otherwise damage your cells and accelerate aging. The temperature-regulating effects of melatonin during deep sleep create optimal conditions for cellular repair. As melatonin levels rise, your core body temperature drops by 1 to 2 degrees, creating what scientists call the thermal sweet spot for maximum restoration efficiency. This temperature drop isn't just a side effect of sleep, it's an essential part of the restoration process, allowing cellular repair mechanisms to work at peak efficiency. Prolactin, another key player in your hormonal night shift, rises to levels during deep sleep that are 2 to 3 times higher than during waking hours. While prolactin is best known for its role in milk production in new mothers, it serves important functions for everyone during sleep. Prolactin supports immune function, helps regulate your body's fluid balance, and may even play a role in dream formation and emotional processing. It's like having a gentle caretaker working throughout the night to ensure all your body's systems are functioning harmoniously. The thyroid hormones, T3 and T4, undergo their own fascinating changes during deep sleep. These hormones, which control your metabolic rate and energy production, shift into a more efficient nighttime mode during deep sleep. Your metabolic rate slows down, but in a way that optimizes energy conservation and cellular repair rather than simply reducing function. It's like switching your body's engine from high-performance daytime mode to efficient nighttime restoration mode.
Insulin sensitivity improves dramatically during deep sleep, creating what researchers call the metabolic window for optimal glucose processing. During these deep sleep hours, your cells become more responsive to insulin, allowing for better blood sugar control and more efficient energy storage. This improved insulin sensitivity during sleep is one reason why people who consistently get quality deep sleep tend to have better metabolic health and lower risk of diabetes. The sex hormones, testosterone in men and estrogen and progesterone in women, also reach their peak production during deep sleep. In men, testosterone levels can increase by up to 30% during deep sleep stages, supporting everything from muscle maintenance to mood regulation to cognitive function. In women, the cyclical nature of estrogen and progesterone production is intimately connected to sleep quality, with healthy deep sleep supporting balanced hormone levels and balanced hormones supporting better sleep. Leptin and ghrelin, the hormones that regulate hunger and satiety, undergo crucial adjustments during deep sleep. Leptin, which signals fullness, rises during deep sleep, while ghrelin, which signals hunger, decreases. This hormonal shift not only helps you sleep through the night without feeling hungry, but also helps regulate your appetite and eating patterns the following day. People who don't get enough deep sleep often struggle with increased appetite and cravings for high-calorie foods, partly because their leptin and ghrelin levels become imbalanced. The orchestration of all these hormones during deep sleep creates what scientists call the anabolic window, a time when your body shifts from breaking down tissues, catabolism, to building them up, anabolism. This shift is so profound that researchers can measure it in blood tests, seeing clear evidence of the body's transition from daytime stress and breakdown to nighttime repair and restoration. What makes this hormonal symphony even more remarkable is how it's synchronized with your other sleep processes. The same slow brainwaves that characterize deep sleep also help coordinate the release of these various hormones. Your brain acts like a conductor, using its rhythmic electrical activity to cue different hormonal instruments to join the symphony at precisely the right moments. This integration between neural and hormonal processes during deep sleep represents one of the most sophisticated biological systems ever discovered. The cumulative effect of this hormonal symphony during deep sleep is nothing short of miraculous. Each night, as these chemical messengers dance through your bloodstream, they literally transform you from the inside out. Damaged tissues are repaired, energy stores are replenished, your immune system is strengthened, your metabolism is optimized, and your body prepares itself not just for the next day, but for long-term health and vitality. It's as if each night of quality deep sleep is like making a deposit in the bank account of your future health and well-being. To shift gears once again. The slow, rolling waves of deep sleep begin to quicken, and a new kind of electrical symphony starts to play across your neural landscape. You're about to enter one of the most fascinating and mysterious stages of your nightly journey, REM sleep, where your brain becomes the most masterful storyteller in the universe. REM stands for rapid eye movement, and if someone were to watch you during this stage, they would see your eyes dancing beneath your closed lids, like you're watching an invisible movie, and in many ways you are. Your brain is not just creating a movie, it's creating an entire universe of experiences complete with characters, emotions, impossible physics and storylines that would make Hollywood directors weep with envy. This is the realm where your mind becomes both director and audience, scriptwriter and actor, all while your body lies perfectly still in peaceful slumber. The transition into REM sleep is like watching a city come alive at dusk. As the deep sleep waves begin to fade, your brainstem, that ancient part of your nervous system that connects your brain to your spinal cord, starts sending out a different kind of signal. It's as if a conductor has stepped up to the podium and begun directing a completely different symphony. The neurons that were resting during deep sleep suddenly spring into action, but not in the organised, synchronised way they did during your waking hours. Instead, they begin to fire in seemingly random patterns, creating a neural light show that rivals the most spectacular fireworks display. What makes this stage so extraordinary is how your brain manages to create such vivid, immersive experiences while simultaneously keeping your body safely paralysed. It's like having the ultimate virtual reality system built right into your head. Your brainstem releases a special cocktail of neurotransmitters that effectively disconnect your motor neurons from your muscles. This temporary paralysis is your brain's way of ensuring that when you dream about running through a field or flying through the clouds, your body doesn't actually try to act out these adventures. It's a brilliant safety mechanism that allows your mind to soar while your body remains at rest. The neuroscience behind But REM sleep isn't just about creating entertaining nocturnal theatre. Your brain is actually performing some of its most important work during this stage. Think of it as your mind's editorial department, working the night shift to process the emotional experiences of your day. During REM sleep, your brain takes all the feelings, fears, joys, and concerns you've accumulated and begins to weave them into the fabric of your long-term memory. It's like having a master librarian who not only files away your experiences, but also creates cross-references, connections, and emotional context that will help you navigate similar situations in the future. The emotional processing that happens during REM sleep is particularly remarkable. Your amygdala, that small almond-shaped structure that serves as your brain's alarm system, becomes highly active during dreams. But unlike during waking hours when it might trigger fight or flight responses, during REM sleep it works in concert with other brain regions to help you process and integrate emotional experiences in a safe environment. It's as if your brain creates a psychological sandbox where you can encounter challenging emotions and situations without any real-world consequences. This is why dreams often feel so emotionally intense, even when they don't make logical sense. Your brain is using the dream state to help you work through feelings and experiences that might be too overwhelming to process while you're awake. That anxiety-inducing dream about being unprepared for an exam might actually be your brain's way of helping you process general feelings of inadequacy or fear of failure. The dream about flying might be your mind's way of exploring feelings of freedom or escape from life's pressures. As your REM sleep continues, your brain begins one of its most sophisticated operations, the delicate process of memory consolidation. But this isn't just simple storage like copying files to a hard drive. Your brain during REM sleep is more like a master weaver, taking individual threads of experience and creating a rich, interconnected tapestry of memory that will serve you for the rest of your life. The hippocampus, that seahorse-shaped structure deep in your brain that serves as your memory's temporary holding area, begins an intricate dance with your neocortex during REM sleep. Throughout the day, your hippocampus has been collecting experiences, but now it needs to decide which memories are worth keeping and how they should be integrated with your existing knowledge. It's like having a master curator, deciding which pieces deserve a permanent place in the museum of your mind. What's fascinating is that your brain doesn't just randomly replay the day's events during REM sleep. Instead, it seems to prioritize certain types of memories and experiences. Emotionally significant events get special attention, as do new skills you've been learning and problems you've been trying to solve. Your brain has a remarkable ability to identify which experiences are most likely to be important for your future survival and success, and it focuses its nighttime processing power accordingly. This selective memory processing explains why you might have vivid dreams about a challenging conversation you had earlier in the day, but not about the routine task of brushing your teeth. Your brain recognizes that the emotional complexity of the conversation requires additional processing, while the routine activity can be filed away without much fanfare. It's like having an intelligent assistant who knows which emails require immediate attention and which can be automatically sorted into folders.
During REM sleep, your brain also engages in what scientists call synaptic homeostasis, a process of fine-tuning the connections between neurons based on the day's experiences. Throughout your waking hours, your brain forms new neural connections as you learn and experience new things. But if this process continued unchecked, your neural networks would become overcrowded and inefficient. REM sleep provides an opportunity for your brain to prune unnecessary connections while strengthening the ones that are most important. Think of it like tending a garden. During the day, new growth sprouts everywhere, some useful, some not. During REM sleep, your brain acts like a master gardener, carefully trimming back the excess growth while nurturing the plants that show the most promise. This process ensures that your neural networks remain efficient and that your most important memories and skills continue to strengthen over time. The creativity that emerges from REM sleep is another remarkable aspect of this stage. Many famous discoveries and artistic breakthroughs have been attributed to insights that came during dreams. The structure of the benzene ring, the melody for Yesterday by the Beatles, and numerous scientific innovations all reportedly came to their creators during REM sleep. This isn't just coincidence, it's the natural result of your brain's ability to make novel connections between seemingly unrelated pieces of information. During REM sleep, the logical, linear thinking patterns that dominate your waking hours are replaced by more fluid, associative thought processes. Your brain becomes like a master improviser, combining elements from different experiences in ways that your conscious mind might never consider. This is why dream logic often seems so strange when you're awake. Your brain is operating according to different rules that prioritize emotional resonance and creative connection over logical consistency. As your REM sleep deepens, the architecture of your dreams becomes increasingly elaborate and sophisticated. Your brain draws upon a vast library of sensory memories, emotional experiences, and learned patterns to construct these nocturnal narratives. It's like having access to the world's most comprehensive film studio, complete with unlimited special effects, an infinite costume department, and the ability to cast anyone from your entire life story as characters in your nightly productions. The construction of dreams begins in some of the most primitive parts of your brain, areas that evolved millions of years ago, and are shared with many other animals. But as the dream unfolds, it engages increasingly sophisticated neural networks, eventually involving the same regions responsible for your most complex waking thoughts and emotions. It's a beautiful collaboration between the ancient and the modern aspects of your brain, creating experiences that are both deeply primal and remarkably sophisticated. Your brain's visual processing centers work overtime during REM sleep, creating the vivid imagery that makes dreams feel so real. But here's what's truly remarkable. Your brain isn't just recycling images you've seen before. Instead, it's actively generating new visual combinations, creating faces you have never seen, landscapes that don't exist, and scenarios that blend the familiar with the impossible. It's like having a master artist who can paint entirely new worlds using colours and brush strokes drawn from a lifetime of visual experience. The temporal structure of dreams is particularly fascinating. While you might experience what feels like hours or even days within a single dream, the actual REM episode might last only 15 or 20 minutes. Your brain has the remarkable ability to compress and expand time within the dream experience, creating narratives that feel complete and meaningful despite occurring in a compressed time frame. It's as if your mind has access to a time dilation device that allows you to live entire lifetimes in the space of moments. The characters that populate your dreams are another marvel of neural creativity. Your brain maintains what scientists call a social simulation system, a sophisticated network of neural circuits dedicated to understanding and predicting the behavior of other people. During REM sleep, this system continues to operate, but without the constraints of reality. It can create composite characters that combine traits from different people you know, or it can generate entirely new personalities based on subtle patterns it has learned from years of social interaction. These dream characters often seem to have minds of their own, saying and doing things that surprise even the dreaming mind that created. This happens because your brain is simultaneously playing multiple roles in the dream narrative. Part of your brain is creating the character's behavior, while another part is experiencing surprise at that behavior. It's like being both the author and the reader of a story that's being written in real time, experiencing genuine surprise at plot twists that you yourself are creating. The emotional intensity of dreams often exceeds what you experience during waking hours, and there's a beautiful neurological reason for this. During REM sleep, the brain regions responsible for emotional processing become hyperactive, while the areas responsible for logical analysis and reality testing are significantly dampened. This creates the perfect conditions for experiencing pure, unfiltered emotion without the skeptical voice of your rational mind questioning the reality of the experience. This emotional intensity serves an important function in your psychological development. Dreams provide a safe space for your brain to explore extreme emotional scenarios, situations of great danger, profound joy, intense fear, or overwhelming love, without any real-world consequences. It's like having access to a virtual reality chamber where you can experience the full spectrum of human emotion in a completely safe environment, allowing your brain to develop emotional resilience and coping strategies. Your brain doesn't just randomly enter REM sleep, it follows a beautiful orchestrated rhythm that repeats throughout the night like movements in a symphony. Understanding this rhythm helps reveal just how sophisticated your brain's sleep management system really is. It's not just shutting down for the night, it's following a carefully choreographed dance that ensures you get exactly the right balance of different types of rest and restoration. A typical night's sleep consists of 4 to 6 complete sleep cycles, each lasting roughly 90 minutes. Think of these cycles as chapters in your nightly story, each with its own character and purpose. You begin each cycle in light sleep, gradually descend into deep sleep, and then ascend back up into REM sleep before the cycle begins again. But here's what makes it even more beautiful. The proportion of deep sleep to REM sleep changes throughout the night, creating a natural ebb and flow that perfectly matches your brain's changing needs. During the first half of the night, your sleep cycles are dominated by deep, slow-wave sleep. This is when your brain focuses primarily on physical restoration, memory consolidation, and the crucial cleaning processes we explored earlier. Your REM episodes during these early cycles are relatively brief, just short bursts of dream activity that serve as brief intermissions between the serious work of deep sleep restoration. But as the night progresses, this balance gradually shifts. Your deep sleep periods become shorter and less intense, while your REM episodes grow longer and more vivid. By the final sleep cycles of the night, you might spend 30 or 40 minutes in continuous REM sleep, creating the long, complex dream narratives that you're most likely to remember upon waking. It's as if your brain saves its most elaborate storytelling for the grand finale of your nightly rest. This changing rhythm isn't random, it reflects your brain's deep understanding of its own needs. The early focus on deep sleep ensures that the most critical restoration work gets completed first, like a construction crew that tackles the most important structural repairs before moving on to decorative details. The later emphasis on REM sleep allows your brain to engage in the more complex work of emotional processing, creative problem-solving, and psychological integration once the fundamental maintenance tasks are complete. Your brain's ability to maintain this rhythm depends on a sophisticated internal clock system centered in a tiny cluster of neurons called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This remarkable structure, no bigger than a grain of rice, serves as your brain's master timekeeper. It receives information about light and darkness from your eyes and uses this information to coordinate the release of sleep-promoting and wake-promoting chemicals throughout your body. During the night, your suprachiasmatic nucleus orchestrates the release of melatonin from your pineal gland, creating the drowsy feeling that helps you fall asleep. But it doesn't just turn melatonin on and off like a simple switch. It carefully modulates its release throughout the night to support the natural rhythm of your sleep cycles. It's like having a master conductor who not only starts the symphony, but continues to guide every movement throughout the entire performance. The temperature regulation that occurs during your sleep cycles is another beautiful example of your brain's sophisticated orchestration. Your core body temperature naturally drops during the early part of the night, reaching its lowest point during the deep sleep phases. This cooling helps promote the slow brainwaves characteristic of deep sleep and supports the restoration processes occurring throughout your body. But during REM sleep, your brain temporarily suspends its normal temperature regulation, allowing your body temperature to drift slightly in response to the environment. This temperature variation isn't a malfunction, it's a feature. The slight cooling during deep sleep helps optimize the conditions for cellular repair and waste removal, while the relaxed temperature control during REM sleep may contribute to the vivid, often surreal quality of dream experiences. Your brain is like a master environmental engineer, constantly adjusting the conditions to optimize each phase of your nightly restoration. Sometimes in the midst of your REM sleep adventures, something extraordinary happens. You suddenly realize, while still dreaming, that you are dreaming. This moment of recognition, called lucid dreaming represents one of the most fascinating frontiers in sleep science. It's like suddenly becoming aware that you're both the actor and the director in a movie that's still being filmed, giving you the potential to influence the story while it unfolds. Lucid dreaming occurs when the part of your brain responsible for self-awareness, primarily the prefrontal cortex, becomes more active during REM sleep than usual. Normally, this region is relatively quiet during dreams, which is why dream experiences often feel so compelling and real while they're happening. But in lucid dreams, this area awakens just enough to provide the metacognitive awareness that allows you to recognize the dream state without fully waking up. The neuroscience of lucid dreaming reveals just how plastic and adaptable your sleeping brain really is. During these experiences, your brain maintains the vivid sensory experiences and emotional intensity characteristic of regular REM sleep, while simultaneously engaging the higher-order thinking processes usually associated with waking consciousness. It's like running two different operating systems simultaneously, the dream generation system and the reality monitoring system, creating a hybrid state of consciousness that is truly unique. Brain imaging studies of lucid dreamers show fascinating patterns of activity. The areas responsible for sensory experience and emotional processing remain highly active, just as they are in regular dreams. But there's also increased activity in the precuneus and other regions associated with self-reflection and awareness. It's as if your brain manages to keep one foot in the dream world while placing the other foot in waking consciousness, creating a bridge between these two different states of being. What makes lucid dreaming even more remarkable is that some people can learn to cultivate this ability intentionally. Through techniques like reality checking, regularly asking yourself throughout the day whether you're dreaming, and dream journaling, some individuals can increase their likelihood of achieving lucidity during dreams. It's like training your brain to maintain a thread of consciousness that can persist even during the altered state of REM sleep. The potential benefits of lucid dreaming extend beyond mere entertainment. Some researchers have found that lucid dreamers can use their dream state to practice skills, work through fears, and even engage in creative problem solving. Athletes have reported using lucid dreams to practice their techniques, while artists have used them to explore new creative territories. It's like having access to a virtual reality system where the only limits are those imposed by your own imagination and neural creativity. However, your brain's natural sleep architecture exists for important reasons, and the spontaneous, uncontrolled nature of regular dreams serves crucial functions in emotional processing and memory consolidation. The random, illogical flow of regular dreams may actually be more beneficial for psychological health than the controlled narratives of lucid dreams. It's like the difference between letting your mind wander freely during a walk in nature versus following a predetermined path. Both have their value, but the unguided exploration often leads to unexpected discoveries. The study of lucid dreaming has also provided unique insights into the nature of consciousness itself. These experiences demonstrate that awareness and conscious control can exist in degrees and combinations that we don't typically experience during normal waking hours. It challenges our understanding of what it means to be conscious and suggests that the boundaries between different states of consciousness are more fluid than we once believed. For most people, lucid dreams occur spontaneously and infrequently, like rare gifts from the sleeping brain. When they do occur, they often feel like magical experiences, moments when the ordinary rules of reality are suspended and you gain access to abilities and experiences that are impossible in waking life. Even if you never actively pursue lucid dreaming, simply knowing that your brain has this capacity adds another layer of wonder to the already miraculous process of REM sleep. While REM sleep and dreaming are generally beneficial and restorative processes, sometimes the delicate mechanisms that orchestrate these experiences can encounter difficulties. Understanding these challenges helps us appreciate just how complex and sophisticated the normal process of REM sleep really is. It's like understanding how master watchmaker's timepiece works by occasionally observing what happens when one of the tiny gears slips out of alignment. One of the most dramatic REM sleep disorders is called REM sleep behavior disorder, where the normal muscle paralysis that occurs during a REM sleep fails to engage properly. Instead of lying peacefully still while dreaming, people with this condition may physically act out their dreams, talking, shouting, moving their arms and legs, or even getting up and moving around. It's as if the safety mechanism that keeps the body still during dreams has been temporarily disabled, allowing the dream experience to spill over into physical reality. This condition provides fascinating insights into how your brain normally manages the complex task of keeping your body safe during vivid dream experiences. The fact that this paralysis mechanism can malfunction demonstrates just how actively your brain has to work to maintain the separation between dream experience and physical action. Your brain isn't just passively allowing dreams to happen. It's actively managing multiple systems to ensure that your dream adventures don't translate into dangerous real-world movements. Nightmares represent another way that the normally beneficial process of REM sleep can sometimes become distressing. While occasional bad dreams are a normal part of the brain's emotional processing system, frequent intense nightmares can disrupt sleep and create anxiety around the prospect of going to bed. It's like having your brain's emotional processing system stuck in overdrive, repeatedly cycling through distressing themes without achieving the resolution and integration that dreams normally provide. The neuroscience of nightmares reveals how closely connected your emotional processing systems are to your dream generation mechanisms. During nightmares, the same brain regions that create vivid dream imagery are working in conjunction with hyperactive fear processing centers. It's as if your brain's movie production system is being directed by an over-enthusiastic horror film director, creating experiences that are too intense for the peaceful restoration that sleep is meant to provide. Sleep paralysis represents yet another fascinating variation in REM sleep experience. During episodes of sleep paralysis, people find themselves conscious and aware but temporarily unable to move or speak. This occurs when the muscle paralysis mechanism of REM sleep persists even as consciousness begins to return. While frightening for those who experience it, sleep paralysis actually demonstrates the remarkable precision with which your brain normally coordinates the transition between sleep states. These various REM sleep disorders highlight the incredible complexity of the neural orchestration required for normal, healthy dreaming. Your brain must coordinate the activity of multiple neurotransmitter systems, maintain precise timing of different sleep stages, regulate muscle tone, manage sensory processing, and integrate emotional experiences, all while maintaining the delicate balance that allows for restorative rest. When we consider how many things could potentially go wrong, it becomes even more remarkable that most of us experience smooth, beneficial REM sleep night after night. The treatment of REM sleep disorders often involves helping to restore the natural balance of neurotransmitters and sleep architecture. Sometimes this means adjusting medications that might be interfering with normal REM sleep, improving sleep hygiene practices, or addressing underlying stress or anxiety that might be disrupting the normal flow of sleep cycles. It's like fine-tuning a complex musical instrument. Small adjustments can restore the beautiful harmony of natural sleep rhythms. Understanding these disorders also helps us appreciate the importance of protecting and nurturing our natural REM sleep. The complex neural orchestration required for healthy dreaming can be disrupted by factors like chronic stress, irregular sleep schedules, excessive alcohol consumption, or certain medications. Taking care of your sleep hygiene isn't just about getting enough hours of rest. It's about providing the optimal conditions for your brain to engage in its sophisticated nightly restoration process. As we continue to learn more about REM sleep disorders, we gain deeper insights into the normal mechanisms of dreaming and the crucial role that REM sleep plays in emotional regulation, memory consolidation, and overall psychological health. Each challenge that can affect REM sleep illuminates another aspect of how remarkable and important this nightly brain state really is. It's like studying the occasional eclipse to better understand and appreciate the normal brilliance of the sun. The journey through REM sleep, the world of dreams, reveals your brain at its most creative, emotionally sophisticated, and neurologically complex. As your final REM episode of the night draws to a close, your brain begins to prepare for the transition back to waking consciousness, having completed another round of the essential restoration work that keeps your mind healthy, creative, and emotionally balanced. As your night of neurological wonder draws toward its close, your brain begins one of its most delicate orchestrations, the process of awakening. This isn't a sudden switch from sleep to consciousness, but rather a gradual, beautifully choreographed transition that your brain manages with remarkable precision. Think of it like a master conductor slowly bringing an orchestra from the softest pianissimo to a vibrant fortissimo, each instrument joining the melody at just the right moment. Your brainstem, that ancient and wise region at the base of your skull, begins to sense the approaching dawn even before the first rays of sunlight touch your window. It's been quietly monitoring the passage of time throughout your sleep, working with your internal circadian clock to prepare for this moment. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, your body's master timekeeper, starts to reduce its production of melatonin while simultaneously beginning to increase cortisol levels, not the stress-inducing cortisol surge of anxiety, but a gentle natural awakening cortisol that serves as your body's own organic alarm clock. This awakening cortisol is like a soft knock on the door of consciousness. It travels through your bloodstream, reaching every cell in your body with the message that a new day is approaching. Your body temperature, which had dropped during the night to facilitate deep sleep, begins its slow climb back toward your daytime levels. Your heart rate, breathing, and blood pressure all start their gentle acceleration from the slower rhythms of sleep toward the more active patterns of wakefulness. During this awakening process, your brain waves gradually shift from the slow, synchronized patterns of deep sleep back through the lighter stages. If you're emerging from REM sleep, your brain might still be weaving the final threads of a dream, allowing you to sometimes catch fleeting glimpses of those nocturnal stories as they fade like morning mist. Scientists have discovered that this transition period is crucial for dream recall. Those dreams you remember are typically the ones occurring closest to your awakening moment. Your neurons, refreshed from their night-long restoration, begin to increase their firing rates. The neural networks that facilitate consciousness start to reconnect and synchronize, like musicians tuning their instruments before a performance. The thalamus, your brain's relay station, begins to open its gates wider, allowing more sensory information to flow from the outside world to your conscious awareness. Sounds become clearer, light becomes more noticeable, and physical sensations return to your conscious experience. What's truly remarkable is how your brain manages this transition, while protecting the benefits of your sleep. The glymphatic system continues its final cleansing cycles, ensuring that the last traces of metabolic waste are cleared away before you fully awaken. Your newly consolidated memories remain secure in their strengthened neural pathways, and the emotional processing completed during REM sleep has left you with a more balanced emotional state for the day ahead. The awakening process is also when your brain begins to integrate the night's experiences with your existing knowledge and memories. Those problems you went to bed pondering might suddenly seem clearer, those creative challenges more approachable. This is the famous sleeping on it phenomenon that scientists have now proven to be real. Your brain's nighttime processing often leads to morning insights and solutions that weren't apparent the evening before. As natural light enters your environment, special cells in your retinas called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells detect the increasing illumination and send signals directly to your suprachiasmatic nucleus. This light exposure helps to reset your circadian clock for the new day, ensuring that your sleep-wake cycle remains properly synchronized with the natural day-night cycle. It's a beautiful example of how your brain remains constantly connected to the rhythms of the natural world, even in our modern, artificially lit environments. The neurotransmitters that promote wakefulness, including dopamine, norepinephrine, and acetylcholine, begin to increase their activity. Dopamine, often called the motivation molecule, starts to prime your brain for the day's activities and goals. Norepinephrine enhances your alertness and ability to focus, while acetylcholine supports learning and attention. Meanwhile, the sleep-promoting chemicals like adenosine, which had been cleared away during your deep sleep phases, remain at low levels, allowing you to feel refreshed rather than drowsy. Your brain's executive function centers in the prefrontal cortex gradually come back online, restoring your ability to make decisions, plan activities, and exercise self-control. This process isn't instantaneous. It's why you might feel a bit foggy for the first few minutes after waking, a phenomenon scientists call sleep inertia. During this brief period, your brain is essentially warming up its higher-order thinking systems, like a computer booting up its most complex programs. The effects of your brain's midnight pleasure party extend far beyond the boundaries of sleep itself, weaving their influence through every aspect of your waking life in ways both subtle and profound. Understanding these connections reveals why sleep isn't just a period of rest, but rather the foundation upon which your entire daily experience is built. It's like discovering that what you thought was merely the intermission is actually the most crucial part of the performance. Your cognitive abilities throughout the day are directly linked to the quality and quantity of sleep you received the night before. Those memory consolidation processes that occurred during your slow-wave sleep directly impact your ability to learn new information, recall important details, and make connections between different pieces of knowledge. When you've had sufficient deep sleep, your brain operates like a well-organized library where every book is properly catalogued and easily retrievable. Without adequate deep sleep, that same library becomes chaotic, with information scattered and difficult to access when you need it most. The creative problem-solving abilities that emerge during REM sleep continue to influence your thinking throughout the following day. Studies have shown that people who get adequate REM sleep are significantly better at finding innovative solutions to complex problems, making unexpected connections between seemingly unrelated concepts, and thinking outside conventional boundaries. It's as if REM sleep provides your brain with a daily dose of creative flexibility, loosening the rigid patterns of thought that can limit your problem-solving potential. Your emotional regulation, carefully calibrated during your nighttime sleep cycles, determines how you'll respond to the stresses, challenges, and joys of your waking hours. The amygdala processing that occurs during REM sleep helps you approach emotional situations with greater balance and perspective. When you're well rested, you're more likely to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, to find humor in difficult situations, and to maintain emotional resilience in the face of challenges. Conversely, Sleep deprivation can leave your emotional responses heightened and less controlled, like trying to navigate with a compass that's lost its magnetic bearing. The physical restoration that occurs during deep sleep directly impacts your energy levels, physical performance, and overall sense of vitality throughout the day. The growth hormone released during slow-wave sleep continues its work long after you've awakened, supporting muscle recovery, tissue repair, and cellular renewal. The immune system strengthening that occurs during sleep provides you with enhanced protection against illness and faster healing when injuries do occur. Even your skin benefits from the nighttime restoration processes, which is why beauty sleep is more than just a charming phrase. It's a scientific reality. Your attention and focus capabilities are perhaps most immediately affected by sleep quality. The clearing of adenosine during deep sleep directly translates to sustained alertness during waking hours. The neural network maintenance performed during sleep ensures that information can flow efficiently between different brain regions, supporting your ability to concentrate for extended periods and switch flexibly between different tasks. When sleep is insufficient, these same networks become sluggish and inefficient, making it difficult to maintain focus and leading to that frustrating feeling of mental fog. The appetite regulation that occurs during sleep has profound effects on your relationship with food throughout the day. The hormonal balancing performed during deep sleep helps maintain proper levels of leptin and ghrelin, the hormones that signal satiety and hunger respectively. Well-rested individuals naturally make better food choices, feel satisfied with appropriate portion sizes, and maintain more stable energy levels throughout the day. Sleep deprivation disrupts this delicate hormonal balance, often leading to increased cravings for high-calorie foods and difficulty recognizing when you've had enough to eat. Your social interactions and relationships are also deeply influenced by sleep quality. The emotional processing that occurs during REM sleep enhances your ability to read social cues, empathize with others, and respond appropriately in social situations. Well-rested people are generally more patient, more positive in their interactions, and better able to resolve conflicts constructively. The mood regulation provided by adequate sleep helps you approach relationships with kindness and understanding, rather than irritability and impatience. The decision-making abilities that sleep supports extend to every choice you make throughout the day, from simple decisions like what to wear to complex life choices about career, relationships, and personal goals. The prefrontal cortex restoration that occurs during sleep directly impacts your ability to weigh options carefully, consider long-term consequences, and make choices aligned with your values and goals. Sleep-deprived individuals often struggle with decision fatigue and are more likely to make impulsive choices they later regret. Even your sense of time and your ability to plan and organize your day are influenced by sleep quality. The temporal processing capabilities of your brain, refreshed during sleep, help you accurately estimate how long tasks will take, manage your schedule effectively, and maintain a sense of temporal organization. Without adequate sleep, time seems to compress and expand unpredictably, making it difficult to manage commitments and maintain productivity. Now that you understand the magnificent complexity of your brain's nighttime activities, you might wonder how you can better support these crucial processes and optimize your sleep for maximum benefit. The wonderful news is that there are many gentle, natural ways to enhance your sleep quality and help your brain perform its nightly restoration work more effectively. Think of these strategies not as rigid rules to follow, but as loving gifts you can give to your hard-working brain. Creating the right environment for sleep is like preparing a sacred space for your brain's nightly ceremony. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary dedicated to rest, cool enough to allow your body temperature to drop naturally as sleep approaches, typically between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Darkness is crucial because it allows your pineal gland to produce melatonin optimally. Even small amounts of light can interfere with this process, so consider using blackout curtains or an eye mask to create the cave-like darkness that signals to your brain that it's time for deep restoration. The sounds in your sleep environment matter more than you might realize. While complete silence isn't necessary, consistent, gentle sounds can actually support better sleep quality. The rhythmic whoosh of a fan, the steady patter of rain, or the consistent hum of a white noise machine can help mask sudden sounds that might disrupt your sleep cycles. These consistent background sounds seem to help your brain maintain its focus on the internal processes of sleep rather than being drawn to monitor the external environment for potential threats. Your pre-sleep routine is like a gentle invitation to your brain to begin its transition towards sleep. This routine should start about an hour before your intended bedtime, creating a bridge between the active energy of your day and the restorative calm of night. Dimming the lights gradually signals to your circadian system that darkness is approaching. Engaging in calming activities like reading, gentle stretching, or meditation helps shift your nervous system from the sympathetic activation of daytime activities to the parasympathetic dominance that facilitates sleep. The relationship between light exposure and sleep quality extends throughout your entire day, not just the evening hours. Exposing yourself to bright light, preferably natural sunlight, during the morning and early afternoon helps strengthen your circadian rhythms and makes it easier for your brain to recognize when it's time to sleep. Even a brief walk outside or sitting near a sunny window can provide this crucial light exposure. Conversely, limiting bright light exposure, particularly blue light from screens, in the evening hours helps your brain begin its natural transition towards sleep. Your eating patterns and timing can significantly influence your sleep quality and the effectiveness of your brain's nighttime processes. Eating large meals close to bedtime can interfere with sleep by requiring significant digestive energy and potentially causing discomfort when you lie down. However, going to bed hungry can also disrupt sleep, as low blood sugar can cause awakenings during the night. A light snack containing both complex carbohydrates and a small amount of protein, consumed about an hour before bedtime, can provide steady blood sugar levels throughout the night without overtaxing your digestive system. Certain foods contain natural compounds that can support better sleep quality. Tart cherries are one of the few natural sources of melatonin, and research has shown that drinking tart cherry juice can improve both sleep duration and quality. Foods rich in magnesium, such as leafy greens, nuts and seeds, can help relax muscles and calm the nervous system. Complex carbohydrates can help increase the availability of tryptophan to the brain, supporting the production of serotonin and subsequently melatonin. Physical activity during the day can significantly enhance sleep quality, but the timing matters. Regular exercise helps reduce stress hormones, tire your body in a healthy way, and regulate your circadian rhythms. However, vigorous exercise close to bedtime can be overstimulating and make it harder to fall asleep. Aim to complete intense workouts at least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime, though gentle activities like restorative yoga or easy walking can actually be beneficial in the evening hours. Managing stress and worry is crucial for allowing your brain to transition into sleep mode effectively. The mental rehearsal of daily concerns or anticipation of future challenges can keep your mind active when it should be winding down. Developing a practice of writing down your worries or tomorrow's tasks before bed can help externalize these concerns and signal to your brain that they don't need to be actively processed during sleep time. Similarly, practicing gratitude by reflecting on positive aspects of your day can shift your mental state toward the peace and contentment that facilitate better sleep. The consistency of your sleep schedule is perhaps one of the most powerful tools for optimizing your brain's nighttime processes. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time each day, even on weekends, helps stabilize your circadian rhythms and makes it easier for your brain to anticipate and prepare for sleep. This consistency helps optimize the timing of your various sleep stages and can significantly improve how refreshed you feel upon awakening. Temperature regulation throughout the night can be supported by choosing appropriate sleepwear and bedding. natural breathable fabrics help your body maintain its optimal temperature for sleep. Your bedroom should be well ventilated, and you might consider using a fan not just for the gentle white noise it provides, but also for the air circulation that helps prevent overheating during the night. Despite our best intentions and efforts, there are times when sleep becomes elusive, when our brains seem unable to transition into their nighttime restoration mode. Understanding why this happens and how to respond with patience and wisdom can transform these challenging periods from sources of stress into opportunities for deeper self-awareness and eventual improvement. Remember, occasional difficulty with sleep is a normal part of the human experience, not a personal failure or something to battle against with force. Stress and anxiety are among the most common disruptors of healthy sleep patterns. When your mind is processing concerns about work, relationships, health, or life changes, your sympathetic nervous system can remain activated when it should be shifting into the parasympathetic mode that facilitates sleep. Your brain, designed to protect you from danger, interprets worry as a signal that you need to remain vigilant rather than vulnerable in sleep. This is an ancient protective mechanism that served our ancestors well when facing physical threats. But in our modern world, it often works against us when the threats are largely psychological rather than immediate physical dangers. The frustration that often accompanies sleeplessness can create a cycle that perpetuates sleep difficulties. Lying in bed watching the clock, calculating how many hours of sleep you're losing, and worrying about tomorrow's performance can increase anxiety and make sleep even more elusive. Your brain begins to associate the bedroom with stress and wakefulness rather than peace and rest. Breaking this cycle requires a gentle but firm approach. If you can't fall asleep within about 20 minutes, it's often better to get up and engage in a quiet, non-stimulating activity until you feel sleepy again. Physical discomfort can also interfere with your brain's ability to initiate and maintain sleep. Pain, whether acute or chronic, activates neural pathways that compete with the brain's sleep systems. Temperature discomfort, noise, or an uncomfortable sleeping surface can prevent your nervous system from settling into the relaxed state necessary for deep sleep. Addressing these physical factors isn't always possible, but making adjustments where you can, using pillows for support, adjusting room temperature, or using earplugs can help minimize their sleep-disrupting effects. Hormonal changes throughout life can significantly impact sleep patterns. Women may experience sleep changes related to menstrual cycles, pregnancy, or menopause due to fluctuations in estrogen and progesterone levels. Men and women both experience changes in growth hormone and melatonin production as they age, which can alter sleep architecture and make deep sleep more difficult to achieve. Understanding these natural changes can help you adjust your expectations and sleep strategies accordingly, working with your body's current reality rather than fighting against it. Medications and substances can also influence sleep quality in ways that aren't always immediately obvious. While alcohol might initially make you feel drowsy, it actually disrupts sleep architecture later in the night, reducing REM sleep and causing more frequent awakenings. Caffeine, with its 6 to 8 hour half-life, can interfere with sleep even when consumed in the early afternoon. Some medications, while necessary for health, can have stimulating effects or alter sleep stages. If you suspect medication might be affecting your sleep, discussing this with your healthcare provider can help you explore alternatives or timing adjustments. Shift work and irregular schedules present unique challenges to the brain's sleep systems. When your work schedule conflicts with your natural circadian rhythms, your brain struggles to know when to initiate sleep processes. This isn't a matter of willpower or adaptation, it's a biological challenge that requires specific strategies. Light therapy, strategic napping, and consistent sleep routines during off-work periods can help minimize the impact of schedule irregularities on your brain's sleep systems. Technology and screen exposure deserve special attention in our modern world. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, computers, and televisions can suppress melatonin production and trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Beyond the light exposure, the mental stimulation from engaging with social media, news, or work emails can activate your brain's alert systems when they should be winding down. Creating technology boundaries in the hour or two before bedtime can significantly improve your brain's ability to transition into sleep mode. When sleep difficulties persist despite addressing obvious factors, it may be helpful to consider whether an underlying sleep disorder might be involved. Sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or circadian rhythm disorders can significantly impact sleep quality in ways that aren't always apparent to the person experiencing them. A bed partner might notice breathing irregularities or frequent movements that could indicate sleep apnea or restless legs. Persistent daytime fatigue despite a seemingly adequate sleep time might suggest that your sleep quality is being compromised by an undiagnosed condition. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, has emerged as one of the most effective treatments for persistent sleep difficulties. This approach focuses on changing thoughts and behaviors that interfere with sleep, rather than relying solely on sleep medications. CBTI techniques include sleep restriction, stimulus control, and cognitive restructuring, all designed to help your brain relearn healthy sleep patterns and associations. The relationship between mental health and sleep is bidirectional and complex. Depression, anxiety, and other mental health conditions can significantly disrupt sleep patterns, while poor sleep can exacerbate mental health symptoms. This creates a cycle where sleep problems and emotional difficulties reinforce each other. Addressing both aspects simultaneously, supporting both sleep health and emotional well-being, often yields the best results. In our achievement-oriented culture, sleep is often viewed as time lost, a necessary inconvenience that takes away from productive hours. Yet understanding the true science of sleep reveals quite the opposite, that those 8 hours of apparent inactivity are actually among the most productive and essential hours of your entire day. Your brain's midnight pleasure party isn't a luxury or an indulgence. It's a biological necessity as fundamental as breathing or eating, deserving of the same respect and priority we give to other essential life functions. The modern world presents unprecedented challenges to natural sleep patterns. Our ancestors lived by the rhythms of natural light and darkness, with activities naturally winding down as the sun set. Today we have electric lights extending our days, global communication connecting us to people in different time zones, and entertainment available 24 hours a day. While these advances have brought many benefits, they've also created an environment where our ancient sleep systems struggle to function optimally. The cultural glorification of sleep deprivation, wearing exhaustion as a badge of honor, competing over who gets the least sleep, or viewing rest as laziness, fundamentally misunderstands what happens during sleep. When you choose to prioritize sleep, you're not being unproductive. You're investing in every aspect of your waking performance. The executive who gets adequate sleep makes better decisions. The student who sleeps well learns more effectively. The parent who is well rested has more patience and emotional availability. The athlete who prioritizes recovery performs at higher levels. Understanding sleep science can help you reframe rest as an active investment in your health, relationships, and goals, rather than time taken away from achieving them. The memory consolidation that occurs during sleep makes your learning more efficient. The creative problem-solving facilitated by REM sleep can lead to breakthrough insights that would never emerge from more hours of wakeful thinking. The emotional regulation provided by adequate sleep improves your relationships and decision-making abilities. When viewed through this lens, choosing sleep becomes a strategic advantage rather than a weakness. The ripple effects of prioritizing sleep extend far beyond individual benefits. When parents model healthy sleep habits, they teach their children that rest is valuable and necessary. When employers support healthy sleep schedules for their workers, productivity and creativity increase while errors and accidents decrease. When communities understand the importance of sleep, they can make policy decisions that support public health, such as later school start times for teenagers whose circadian rhythms naturally shift toward later bedtimes and wake times. Quality sleep becomes even more crucial as we age. While younger brains can often compensate for occasional sleep deprivation through resilience and energy reserves, Older brains rely more heavily on the restoration and maintenance functions that occur during sleep. The protein clearance systems become more important for preventing neurodegenerative diseases. The memory consolidation processes become more crucial as we accumulate decades of experiences and knowledge. The immune system support provided by sleep becomes more vital as our natural defenses gradually decline. Shift workers, new parents, and others whose circumstances make regular sleep challenging deserve particular compassion and support. These individuals aren't choosing to neglect their sleep. They're often sacrificing their own rest to care for others or keep essential services running. Understanding the science of sleep can help us recognize the hidden costs of these sacrifices and work together to find solutions that minimize the impact on both individual and community health. The relationship between sleep and mental health cannot be overstated. In a world where anxiety, depression, and stress-related disorders are increasingly common, prioritizing sleep becomes an act of mental health self-care. The emotional regulation, stress processing, and neurotransmitter balancing that occur during sleep provide a foundation for psychological resilience. While sleep alone cannot cure mental health conditions, it creates the neurological foundation that makes other treatments more effective. Climate change and environmental factors add new layers of complexity to sleep health. Rising temperatures can disrupt the natural cooling that facilitates sleep onset. Air quality issues can affect breathing during sleep. Light pollution from urban environments can interfere with natural circadian rhythms. As we address these larger environmental challenges, considering their impact on sleep health becomes part of creating sustainable, healthy communities. The future of sleep science holds exciting possibilities for understanding and supporting these crucial nighttime processes. Researchers are developing new technologies for monitoring sleep quality, discovering genetic factors that influence sleep patterns, and creating personalized approaches to sleep optimization. However, the fundamental needs remain the same. Darkness, quiet, comfortable temperature, and regular timing, simple requirements that have supported human sleep for thousands of years. Technology, while sometimes disruptive to sleep, also offers tools for better sleep health. Sleep tracking devices can help individuals understand their own patterns and identify factors that improve or worsen their sleep quality. Apps that filter blue light from screens can reduce evening light exposure. Smart thermostats can optimize bedroom temperature throughout the night. The key is using technology intentionally to support rather than replace healthy sleep habits. As we near the end of our journey through the remarkable world of sleep science, it's time to reflect on the profound gift that each night of rest represents. Your brain's midnight pleasure party isn't just a fascinating biological process. It's a daily renewal, a nightly reset that allows you to approach each new day with clarity, creativity, and resilience. Understanding this science isn't merely academic knowledge, it's practical wisdom that can transform how you view and prioritize one of life's most essential activities. Every night, as you settle into bed and close your eyes, you're embarking on a journey that's simultaneously deeply personal and universally human. The same sleep processes that restore your individual brain also connect you to the broader human story. Millions of years of evolution have shaped these intricate systems, and every person throughout history has relied on sleep's restorative power. There's something beautifully humbling about recognizing that you share this fundamental need with every other human being, past and present. The personalized nature of optimal sleep means that your journey toward better rest will be unique to you. While the underlying science remains consistent across all humans, the specific strategies, timing, and approaches that work best for your brain and body may differ from what works for others. This isn't a flaw in the system, it's evidence of the remarkable adaptability and individuality of human biology. Learning to listen to your own body's signals and respond to your unique needs is part of developing a mature, sustainable relationship with sleep. Children naturally embrace sleep when they're tired, without guilt or resistance. Somehow, as adults, we often lose this instinctive wisdom, treating sleep as optional or viewing the need for rest as a weakness. Reclaiming a more childlike relationship with sleep recognizing tiredness as a natural signal rather than something to push through, viewing bedtime as a welcome transition rather than an unwelcome interruption, can restore the joy and peace that should naturally accompany rest. The seasons of life bring different sleep needs and challenges. The intense sleep requirements of growth during childhood and adolescence, the disrupted sleep that often accompanies new parenthood, the changing sleep patterns that come with aging, the shift work demands of certain careers, the sleep changes that accompany illness or life stress. Understanding that sleep needs aren't constant throughout life can help you adjust expectations and strategies as circumstances change. Treating each phase with patience and adaptation rather than resistance. Creating a family culture that values and supports healthy sleep can be one of the greatest gifts you give to yourself and your loved ones. This might mean establishing consistent bedtime routines, protecting sleep time from unnecessary activities, modeling healthy sleep behaviors, and talking about rest as something valuable rather than burdensome. When families prioritize sleep together, everyone benefits from the improved mood, better health, and enhanced relationships that result from adequate rest. The workplace culture around sleep is slowly beginning to shift as employers recognize the connection between well-rested employees and improved performance, creativity, and safety. Some companies now provide nap spaces, flexible scheduling to accommodate different chronotypes, or education about sleep health. As individuals, we can contribute to this cultural shift by being honest about our sleep needs, setting appropriate boundaries around work hours, and supporting colleagues who prioritize their rest. Sleep research continues to reveal new insights about these nighttime processes, but the fundamental message remains clear. Sleep is not optional, and it's not a luxury. It's a biological necessity that deserves the same attention and respect we give to nutrition and exercise. The investment you make in improving your sleep quality pays dividends in every area of your life: your health, relationships, creativity, emotional stability, and overall sense of well-being. As you develop a deeper appreciation for your brain's nighttime activities, you might find that going to sleep becomes less of a daily chore and more of a welcomed ritual. Instead of reluctantly ending your day, you're consciously beginning your brain's restoration process. Instead of viewing sleep as lost time, you're investing in tomorrow's energy and clarity. This shift in perspective can transform bedtime from something you rush through or resist into something you approach with intention and gratitude. The simple act of creating a peaceful sleep environment becomes an act of self-care and self-respect. Choosing comfortable bedding, maintaining an appropriate temperature, reducing noise and light pollution, and establishing calming routines are all ways of honoring the importance of your sleep and supporting your brain's crucial nighttime work. These aren't indulgences, they're investments in your health and well-being. Your sleep quality affects not only you, but also everyone you interact with throughout the day. When you're well rested, you're more patient with your family, more creative in your work, more resilient in facing challenges, and more present in your relationships. The person who gets adequate sleep is contributing to a more positive, productive, and peaceful world. In this way, prioritizing your own rest becomes a gift to your community as well as to yourself. The mysteries of sleep continue to unfold as scientists develop new tools and techniques for studying these complex processes. Yet even as our knowledge grows more sophisticated, the basic requirements for healthy sleep remain beautifully simple: regular timing, appropriate environment, and sufficient duration. Sometimes the most profound truths are also the most accessible, requiring not advanced technology or expensive treatments, but simply the wisdom to honor our natural rhythms and needs. As you continue on your journey toward a better sleep, remember that perfection isn't the goal. Consistency and gentleness are. There will be nights when sleep comes easily, and others when it's more elusive. There will be periods when your sleep is deeply restorative and others when external circumstances make optimal rest more challenging. Through it all, maintaining respect for the process and patience with yourself creates the foundation for long-term sleep health. Thank you for staying with me through this peaceful journey into the sleepy scientist's exploration of your brain's midnight pleasure party. I hope that understanding the remarkable science happening in your sleeping brain will help you approach each night's rest with greater appreciation and intention. Your brain works tirelessly to restore, consolidate, and prepare you for each new day. What a beautiful gift to receive every single night of your life. Sweet dreams, and may your newfound knowledge of sleep science bring you many nights of peaceful, restorative rest. Until we meet again for another gentle exploration of the wonders that surround us, take care of yourself, honor your need for rest, and remember that in sleep you're not doing nothing, you're doing everything your brain needs to help you thrive. Sleep well, dear friend, and wake refreshed to embrace all the possibilities that tomorrow will bring. And then, if this journey through sleep science has brought you peace and insight, I'd be so grateful if you'd share it with others who might benefit from understanding their brain's nighttime activities. Subscribe for more gentle explorations of science and nature, and remember, every night offers a new opportunity to support your brain's remarkable restoration process. The gift of understanding what happens during sleep can transform how you view rest, making each night's sleep not just a necessity but a celebration of your brain's incredible capacity for renewal and growth.